Welcome to episode 13.
Welcome to episode 13.
This is episode 1-3.
This is episode 13. 1-3.
Lucky 1-3.
Hey Google, what is the significance of the number 13?
According to Wikipedia, some believe this is unlucky because one of those 13, Judas Iscariot, was the betrayer of Jesus Christ. From the 1890s, a number of English language sources relate that unlucky 13 to an idea that at the Last Supper, Judas, the disciple who betrayed Jesus, was the 13th to sit at the table.
Ooh.
That's a nice intro to the episode.
Ooh.
And we're going to talk about the movie Sinners.
Look at that.
Should we abort this before we get ahead of ourselves?
Why are you feeling like feeling Ouija board energy?
No. We said sage, right? You saged earlier?
Earlier, but I'm feeling a little irritation right now.
You feel irritation?
Yeah, we was feeling a little...
We
little
were.
Friction.
But we're going to be affirmative and positive.
The fact that we want to talk about Sinners because of how we're feeling.
Just a movie.
It's just a movie.
But it's a quick review.
Have you seen Sinners?
If you've seen it and you don't want spoilers, turn this off. Or skip to look in the description, the timestamp, and skip all the Sinner stuff where we talk about probably something else.
Yes.
What was I about to say? Just a quick review. We're going to talk about our thoughts. What are some of the things people are saying online about it? Particularly the Christian community. Got a lot of opinions.
Why not? A movie called Sinners. Of course, the Christian Coalition is going to
have words
about it. Let me see what this is about. And, you're going to be judgy. I mean, it's
fine. The first question, before we jump into that, just the plugs real quick. Get the book, An Elusive Perspective, An Introduction to Waking the Fuck Up. It's my personal book. I wrote it. I authored it. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. It's in bookstores. It's on elusiveperspective.com. So get that. Wake the fuck up. And real skin.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
It means a lot.
Yeah. I can feel it. I can feel it from over here.
You should.
Yes. Want to know about your skincare? Go to www.realskinlab.com. If you're in the Hampton Roads area, I have a location in Virginia Beach. You can book an appointment. I have some of the best hands in all of the town. And if you can't make it in to see me personally, I'll do a virtual consultation for you via Zoom or whatever
best
hands in town, or whatever video app that you have available. We can talk about your skin and talk about routines that you can do at home.
This right here, this book changed my life. This is the book. This is the one you want to get. If you really want to know what's going on in the world, if you really want to gain the perspective you need to change your outlook, this book, An Elusive Perspective, this is the one that's going to wake you up, help you to see the world for what it truly is. Take the blinders off, look behind the veil, wake up. 11 chapters of knowledge, information, the truth about this planet, about this world, about politics, about abundance, about money. Get this book now, change your life.
Revitalize your skin and combat the signs of aging at Real Skin Lab. Our expert skincare treatments use top-notch, professional products to rejuvenate your skin. Relax and rejuvenate in our spa-like environment where your skin will be thoroughly cleansed, pores unclogged, and exfoliated. Our new location is conveniently located off of South Independence Boulevard in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Book your virtual consultation anytime, anywhere. Healthy, radiant skin starts here. Book your appointment today at www.realskinlab.com.
Boom.
Boom.
Those are the plugs. Sinners. My first question is, who is the title referring to? The vampires or the people?
Right. No, that's a good
I couldn't
question.
Call it.
It's a good question because the twins, right? They were sinners, they were like gangsters,
yeah.
And they were coming in with, I guess, blood money or whatever to open up the place.
Again, it's going to be spoilers. They stole liquor from gangs in Chicago.
Yeah. So
and
like,
came back to the South.
and then they decided to open up a business, and
Juke joint.
yeah, and it attracted the dark side. So maybe okay. Maybe you just answered the question. Maybe sinners in this movie is the gangsters, the twins, Stack and was it Stack and what? Something Stack, Smokestack. Smoking Stack. Maybe they're the sinners. The vampires are demons, so they're not necessarily sinners. They're already evil. Yeah.
And then the town folk and the people, they're just people. I'm sure amongst them there's sinners, but they're not necessarily all just bad because they just wanted to have a dance and good time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, there were like,
adultery.
Not adultery. There was 3 sex parts. 3. There was the first one with him and his old flame at her house from the back.
Oh, there was.
And then
3.
two at the juke
that was
joint.
his girl.
They weren't really together.
But they weren't. Neither one.
But
of
they
them
were sinning because they weren't married, right? That's called.
Well, if you believe in it, no, fornication. Fornication.
Fornication.
If you count that.
It is. That's
okay.
I mean, to the Christian. Why wouldn't call them a Christian coalition? That's hilarious. But that's considered sinning. Based on the rules.
And then the other scenes were with married women. So they got that in there.
Yeah.
They got the women being unfaithful.
They were drinking liquor, dancing to the devil's music or whatever.
Devil's music.
Well, it was secular music, right? It wasn't Christian. Songs, it wasn't gospel.
That's true. Some songs, there were spicy songs.
Yeah. Very sexual, charged. Secular, yes, that was the whole juke joint idea.
Sammy was singing, I don't remember the words, but was that song he was singing particularly secular that attracted the vampires?
I don't know. I think they were just. I think they just talk about music. Period. Mm-hmm. Like soulful music.
Yeah, it's cultural.
Can cross all types of worlds.
We may have to watch it again just to try to listen to. It was hard to listen to the lyrics and then process the visuals.
Yeah.
When they brought in the DJs and the rappers and all the timelines.
That was kind of dope when they did that. Yeah.
But I felt the type of way that in that scene, doing all that, why did that attract evil? Right? What are they trying to say that type of black music in all its forms across time attracts evil?
There was something that you brought up about like the devil being a musician.
Yes, he was Lucifer. We're gonna have to sage after this. Lucifer.
Well, that's why I'm not saying no names.
Oh,
that's why I'm being. Yeah, I know, but that's the character.
Okay, the devil.
Oh, you don't even have to. Okay, we're doing too much.
We're fine.
We're doing too much. Just say the words.
He's a musician. I heard or I read somewhere that he was a musician.
Yeah.
So, and
maybe
he brought music to this world, so that's why music.
I'm not.
You're not feeling it?
Nah.
You want to change? We're gonna talk about the movie. Would you rate the movie from 1 to 10? How you felt about it? We can go to church after this. Let's listen to Kirk Franklin after this.
You're the reason why I sing. That's not it, but
you can just turn the
I like this song.
I know you got to keep moving it though.
Yeah. I rated I'm like between a 6 and a 7. Like a 6. I rated a 6. How about you?
Out of 10?
Mm-hmm.
For horror? Action?
Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking overall.
Thriller? It was about an 8.
Okay. Yeah, as far as the scary movie is concerned, I guess I would still pick 6. Everything would probably be like right above okay. Because I felt like it could have been better.
How?
I don't know. Just, I mean, it had good parts to it, but like overall, like how it ended, like how everything went down. Like I think it like scratched this. It was an intro. Like if it was supposed to be like a trilogy or something like that, then I feel like it was nicely set up. But I felt like there's more.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna be a universe.
Yeah, it could have been deeper. I believe. Like, I don't know how to explain it, with my words, but I knew what I wanted to feel, and it kind of just like scratched the surface of all of that. What I did like was that the lady that was, I guess, into the magic and stuff like that. How
Hoodoo.
Is that what it was? How, when she noticed that when the people went out into, I guess, became undead and came back, how they had to ask to come back in, and like her noticing that and be like, no, don't let them in. Like, what is that? Like, I liked that idea too. Like, hold on, there's something interesting happening. I like that part.
But that's real. Supposedly, you have to invite evil into your house, which you are denied here in all forms.
You deny.
But then the Asian lady, the Asian lady, when she said, "Come on
Oh
in."
my God, that.
And then what happened after? Like, I think that was poorly written for 50, 100 vampires to come in there with only like five or six people, and somehow they survived. Like, the main character survived. The only people that died in there was the drunk, the Asian lady, and then the other black girl turned. It was like they had minimal casualties with 50 vampires in there.
Yeah.
Supposedly stronger, faster, all these things, and they just had they had guns and silver and wooden sticks, and they were somehow fighting them off. Like, I was thinking, as soon as they came in there, it should have been a wrap in like 30 seconds max.
Yeah,
everybody's turn, but they fought them off, and everybody died. But the main characters, the hoodoo lady died. Yeah. So, and then just Smoke, Sammy, were the only survivors ultimately.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
I mean, yeah.
And then the girl, she got turned. You know what I'm saying?
Early.
So I don't know how to fuck. Like, it was like, bro, there should have been another way to write it to for that fight scene to have seemed more even, because they were fighting, they were killing more vampires than they were losing. You know what I'm saying? So I was looking at the scene like they should have been dead already. Everybody should have been dead already.
Yeah. I mean, you said that out loud in theater too. Like,
right.
how are they winning?
It's like 5 minutes and y'all still fighting. 100 motherfuckers that just ran in there.
Yeah. And like, what was it about, like, I guess, him and his brother, I mean, you're better with names, Smoke and Stack, how they're like kind of wrestling, and then they're saying at the end, I guess he had an agreement with him, like, oh, I'll let you live if you don't touch Sammy. I guess let him live out his life. Like, how is he like gonna listen to him?
That's his brother.
I know, but he's like not really his brother anymore. Like, he can do what he wants to do.
Of him in there. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he honored, like, he known him his whole life. They're brothers. There's probably still some love there or respect.
Maybe, so maybe deep down inside,
he could have killed him. Maybe he was like, all right, you got that. You could have killed me, so I'll leave him alone.
And then they go visit him later on down in life. 92. Like, hi, how you doing? Like,
he was about to die. I think that's dope how they said that. I think there's gonna be more.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do a movie in the 90s with them, and maybe they'll bring it to 2025 or whenever the movie comes out.
How do you think they're gonna set the next storyline up?
Just vampires. I don't know. They kind of killed everybody off from the first one except for the girl and Stack.
Yeah, and then everyone, even the vampires, they got burned up.
Yeah, the main evil guy's gone, so it could be just the first movie of their origin, and then maybe there's politics. You know, they're gonna be like 70-year-old vampires, so they're still kind of new. They're not really strong. It can go anywhere.
Yeah,
you know what
I mean,
I'm saying?
if they carried it on, I would be excited to see the next one.
Dope. We just dropped mad spoilers.
Nice. Well, we said we were. We were talking about the movie.
What could they have done better? Well, I already mentioned the fight scene. If there was some kind of way to make it more realistic that you could believe that they could fight them off that long. I like the concept of the inviting them in and then rejecting them and all that. But I'm mad at the Asian lady. She did not. She
It was
was
just
very
dumb.
selfish.
I was dumb.
And like, instead of doing that, what you could have just took your ass outside,
Right.
Like, why you
go get your husband?
everybody in risk? Everybody that's alive with you, you just murk everybody because you and your emotions.
You're in the
You're-
literally go outside. Like why?
Right. Give her some guns.
She was too emotional.
Give her some guns. Give her some wooden stakes, and have her ass take her ass outside instead of yelling that and then having them come in there. That was fucked up.
You should have saw it. You
That
should have
was
saw
fucked
it
up.
coming because she was tweaking.
Yes, I would have been like, listen.
Like, please get out.
And then it should have also been. I mean, I don't know the lore or the rules, but it should have been whoever the owner is has to say that. Like, apparently it was anybody who's
someone
inside.
who owns the house or something.
Oh yeah, like
the owner
Smoke.
of the house.
Smoke. That was his. He bought it. It was his. It should have been him to say it.
True.
But anybody inside apparently could say it. So I don't know if there's a plot hole or that's just like the lore with that. Whoever's in the house. If you're in the house and you say, come on in, it don't matter who it is. So I don't know.
That's good to know.
It is, right? It's like, careful who you let
What
in
are
your
the
house.
rules? Exactly.
If you know, let us put it in the comments. What are the rules around it? Is it any?
What are the vampire rules?
Any or demonology, whatever. Anybody in the house, if anybody in your household gives permission, is that the green light? Or does it have to be the owners or the matriarch or the patriarch?
We'd be good with that. Nobody be coming here.
Yeah. We used to throw parties and stuff.
We do.
You can talk about. Yeah.
I mean, just like regularly, like someone is like
Nobody.
standing out. You used to be standing outside. I mean,
Nobody.
just naturally that.
We could probably look up some stuff. You want to
Look up
look
what?
up vampire
Nothing.
rules? No, we don't have to do that. Put in the comments if you know. If you know stuff.
No,
Back to the
thanks.
Christians. So Christians
Back to the Christians.
are attacking the movie. Obviously, I'm sure they don't like the title for obvious reasons. And then they're saying that for the public, people watching it, it's going to turn them off to Jesus and make them want to study and look into the hoodoo side of things. I don't think the movie was necessarily talk bad or about you. It had a pastor. The kid was a pastor's boy. He was religious. He sang. He was even praying at the end when he was about to get murked. Like he was singing
I don't know what part of it. I don't know how they like exalted that part of the movie because it wasn't a real big part of it to say that's going to turn people. Like the movie was not about that.
People were saying the hoodoo lady.
Yeah.
Instead of calling on Jesus for help and all that, she was calling on her magic.
That was her culture.
I know.
That's what,
I'm
but the
saying.
movie wasn't about that. I don't. Well, I
People
mean,
were saying, "Oh, she should have been calling on Jesus and doing Christian things."
isn't that a choice too?
But they had a Christian aspect because the kid was religious.
That crosses everywhere.
And he was praying, and he was spiritual and religious, and he was praying at the end when the vampire's about to murk him, and he got saved. So I think, and you know what happens is people who got something to say didn't even watch it.
Okay.
They probably hear other people talk about it, and then it's like telephone. You just say what you heard, but you ain't watch it. But if you watch it, obviously you probably won't watch it because you don't like the title, you don't like what it's about, and you don't like what you heard about it. But if you watch it, it's not. I don't think it pulls anybody or tries to turn people off to Christianity
At all.
because it got Christian parts in there. It has hoodoo parts in there.
Yeah.
It has vampire
it's
parts in
bilingual.
there. It's a horror film. There's adultery. There's secular music. It's not a Christian movie. It's not Passion of the Christ.
And it's definitely not a kid movie.
Yes,
Do not take your children to see this movie.
I asked people online, should I bring my 13-year-old? And a handful of y'all said yes.
Like, did y'all forget
One
what the
person
scene was?
said-
Like, do you have to actually see a penis and a vagina and boobs for it to be inappropriate for children? What we saw was enough, personally.
Yes, the 3 sex scenes.
3 whole like you could tell like they're not playing.
The first 2
playing around.
were very graphic. The last one you couldn't really tell because when the guy
When she
opened the
was
door,
outside.
yeah, but it was still.
Yeah, that whole.
I'm thinking like if I brought my kid and then he's
Nah.
asking me questions, I'm like, nah, I gotta explain. But he knows,
Nah.
he understands.
But still, if you
It is rated R, so it's not for kids.
exactly
Don't bring your
don't
children.
take your children to see this movie.
Unless you're going to be prepared to explain some things.
I mean, even if they already know about it, they don't have to see the movie. Like, just, I don't know what the urgency is, or trying to make your kids grow up so fast, or whatever the case. I mean, that's my personal opinion, but they don't have to see that movie. Like, go see something else.
I was thinking about the smells.
The smells.
Yeah, like it's 1930. They didn't have regular showers and.
I mean, that scene where he was like, "I don't care, just want to taste you." Yeah. He didn't care. Well,
they probably take showers once a week back then, 2 times a week. I mean, once every 2 weeks.
Well, I guess maybe like if you're used to that, you're used to the smells. It's normal. Like now, like we bougie, so we got the.
Well, and were they really doing oral back in 1930s? Like,
why not?
I don't know. Maybe we should look that up.
Why not?
Ask Google.
Ask
Google. Hey Google.
It's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Were people engaging in oral sex in 1932?
Sorry, I don't understand.
No. It's got to be so we can
that
hear.
Loud?
Yeah.
While explicit data on the prevalence of oral sex in 1932 is limited, historical sources and studies on sexual behavior suggest that it was likely practiced to some extent. Here's what we can infer. Ancient practice. Oral sex has a long history, with evidence dating back to ancient civilizations. Changing attitudes. Attitudes towards sexual practices vary greatly across cultures and time periods. What might be considered taboo in one era could be more accepted in another. Limited open discussion. In the early 20th century...
Okay, we get it. Apparently...
She can stop talking.
Apparently... They were doing that.
Why not?
They did have soap and water. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. All I know is in that hot ass juke joint, she was already there with dancing.
And she had been working all day.
And she had that dress, that big ass dress or whatever, like in the summertime. Everybody was sweating. She was
already sweating.
Everybody was sweating in that motherfucker.
He didn't care. Yo, his mouth was probably like reeking.
Her damn in between her legs was reeking.
I'm just saying.
And then he's talking to people, and then he's singing. We gotta run.
That's what attracted him. It was that breath.
No, it was. I think it was a decent movie.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was good. It wasn't great, which is fine.
I give it an 8.
6.
That's kind of low. That's kind of mid.
Could have been better. It could have been better.
What would you have improved on? What would get it to a 10 for you?
Better writing. And I don't. I mean, I'm not a movie writer, but I know it when I see it. Like I'm sure someone else could have taken it and did something more to it to just add more oohs and ahs feeling. But it was very, it wasn't scary at all. There was some little jump scares, but because of the music or the sound effects and stuff like that, with the snake in the back of the truck, like stuff like that.
That was like the first one.
Yeah. So, but it was just more. It wasn't really. I don't know. It could have been better. Like From Dusk Till Dawn. Like that was a good movie. Like vampire and it happening like from dusk till dawn in those wee hours. That movie was bomb. I feel like I need to watch that again. But
I got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we can watch that and be like, okay, it could have gave the same feels.
Was that scary?
I think it was a little more gory. Okay. Well, true. So we can go see it as adults now, a little more desensitized brain.
Like I seen worse. For me, what from an 8 to 10, I would give the ending. I was rolling my eyes when the sun came up and killed everybody. I'm thinking like
run away.
Right. Like
knew
okay, y'all in the moment, you got this nice juke joint, y'all trying to kill everybody. Everybody's not paying attention to time. But then the sun comes up and everybody's literally standing outside waiting for the sun to just murk them. And that's how everybody died. Like, to me, that was the lazy writing part. That was like,
yeah,
it should have been, the twist should have been more twisty. Because that wasn't really a twist.
It could have been more everything.
That was like, it was getting good. Okay, he got him. He got stabbed. And then the sun came up. Like, really?
So he like had a little tornado.
From the moment the Asian lady let them in to the moment the sun came up, which was probably like 20 minutes. So you mean to tell me all you had to do was shut your mouth for 20 minutes and y'all could have left and everybody would have been safe. Granted, all those vampires would have to run somewhere and get away from the sun, or would they have stayed outside and just got murked by just being out there?
Yeah.
Where could they have gone? And then the other thing that pissed me off was how the vampire came into the scene like he fell from the sky or he was running from somewhere. Like,
oh
boom,
yeah,
just vampire comes.
How did he get there? He looked like, because the way that he entered the scene, like it looked like he like fell down like a fallen angel, like type of thing.
We got no origin about him. He just vampire.
He dropped out of the sky.
In the script, it said vampire enters the scene. Boom.
Right.
We don't got nothing
In the brackets.
But then the Indians or the natives were chasing.
Yeah, and where'd they go? Why didn't they come back?
That could be a prequel. Like maybe they could make a movie of what they were doing. Maybe they were fighting him.
Yeah.
And there was a conflict.
We could have sworn that they were about to enter the scene and help them fight.
Yeah, I thought they were going to come back and like help them and save them.
They just had like.
Nah, they knew
okay,
better.
that makes me think that there should be a 2 in the making.
Yeah, they were like,
because like how you just gonna sneak peek everything?
So wait a minute, they were chasing him, right? Oh, they were chasing him in the house, and then when they left when the sun went down because they were like, okay.
So how'd they see him when the sun was up? Or they just knew that he was gonna be around?
Remember, he was running and he was all burning up.
Yeah.
So like.
From where?
Maybe wherever they were trying to fight him.
Oh, maybe he was like in a coffin or something, or under the ground, or in some type of darkness. I don't see.
Exactly.
There's questions.
The sun was up.
Yeah.
He's outside. He's burning up. He's running. He gets to the door, the house, and then they let him in. But then the sun goes down, and that's when they bounce.
They probably like scared him out of something.
And they're like, all right, it's dark now. We can't fuck with him in this state.
Yeah.
Technically, if they knew he was in there, well, if they knew better, they were like several of them, and they knew that he was in the house. They could have still tried to fight him.
What if they were like good vampires? No, because
they were trying.
Sunlight.
They were trying to.
You know, like Blade.
Mm-hmm.
He still had to be invited inside.
Blade, no.
No, he didn't.
No,
okay, sorry, he was
Blade.
half and half.
Blade could go in wherever. I'm saying that the native people, they could have saved all those black people if they continued on their mission and tried to go in there and kill him.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Like, okay, the lady answered the door. The lady answered the door. You know she's about to die because he's in there. So okay, you got at least 2 vampires in there. Y'all leave and basically let him roam the earth.
Yeah, engines.
They call them engines.
Engines.
So, y'all fucked up.
Yeah, there's. I won't say lazy writing because that would be. It's not necessarily lazy writing. It just could. It could have been more. We have questions. Well, I mean, I guess that's what work of art do. Like you have questions afterward. You wonder, and you're talking about it. Everyone's talking about stuff. So, good job. Good job for that. Keeping us guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, sinners. What's next on the agenda?
They should make part 2 Believers. Christians. Hoodooers. Is that a name?
I have no idea. I never even heard of
Hoodoo.
What's the difference between hoodoo and voodoo?
I think voodoo's from Haiti and hoodoo's from the South.
Okay.
It's probably the same, related, or just,
I'm
different
with it.
in some kind of way. But yeah. Nobody is going to turn from Jesus to turn to hoodoo. People.
I mean, isn't it the same thing as like people wanting to be like Muslim or Buddhist or something like that? It's just different
spiritual belief
ways about protection and
there's Santeria. There's all type of religions and practices.
And you pick what
and
you
they
resonate
all
with.
have pros and cons
all
and
of
belief
them.
systems.
All of them.
And it doesn't matter if you feel like it's going to influence people. I mean, people are going to do what they want to do.
Yeah, so what?
If anything, it sparked interest in people. Maybe people who never
volatile.
heard about it might just read up on it to learn more about it, but that don't mean they're gonna jump in and start practicing. And
I mean, if they do, like, whatever. What's got to do with you?
yeah, because they want them to go to Jesus.
Why? You need more soldiers?
Well, it's part of the thing to spread
Convert
the gospel.
people?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
What do they say when they used to come to doors?
do you know about our Lord and Savior?
Lord and Savior Jesus. That reminds me of Friday. I forgot the line.
I did too.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are you prepared for Jehovah's return? Because if you are, I got this pamphlet. It's funny. Good times.
We talked about this movie for 30 minutes.
Dope. But I do want to mention something very, very enlightening.
Ooh.
See, there's this book that I read, and and it's really good.
Thank you.
It's well written.
It is.
It hit everything.
We need to sell 1,000 copies.
Everything that you wonder about the media, people, the world, your thoughts, is all in here. Like, you can even just go through the table of contents. Do you have like the table of contents and stuff on Amazon?
Yeah, you can see it.
I'm saying on Amazon you can see like even going through there, like something that I'm going to do, because I've read it from front to back.
Cover.
Yeah, front to back, cover to cover, and there really isn't any particular order that you can read this in. You can really just be like, what am I in the mood for today? What do I have questions on? And just go to that chapter, and it's you don't have to
felt like
read the previous chapters
you could skip around
to understand. Yeah.
But I felt like I tried to write it in a way that it can flow from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And tell a story, but you can jump around.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'll probably jump to the gratitude and the abundance parts.
Oh yeah.
Because those are
the most important. Everything else is I feel like it's more information.
Mm-hmm.
Just learning about the world itself, but then as far as what you can apply to yourself and get the most out of life are probably those 2 chapters.
And there's some strong opinions. I don't want to say strong, but alternative views, different opinions.
No, they're strong opinions.
Probably,
And then you could just be like, I don't agree with that.
And that's fine. You don't have to.
I'm 100% sure you're not going to agree with a lot of the materials in there.
Nicotine is not that controversial.
It's controversial. It's a
controversial book.
This is a controversial read. There are some nice butterfly and amazing stuff in here, and that the stuff that you hear everyone talk about, like on TikTok and stuff with the law of attraction and all that. And then there are some darker things in here.
Like what?
I don't know, like, talking about like the government and the food and medicine and doctors and all of that stuff. And there's like a whole like dark side to the world and, things that you kind of feel, but you're not totally aware of that's happening. Yeah.
Unfortunate truths.
Yeah. So like this is scratching the surface of that. I'm sure he can
it.
delve deeper into it. Like I'm sure every chapter in here he could like turn into a whole book, which you probably will do.
I probably will do that.
Yeah. So if you read the book, what's your favorite chapter, so you can start writing his next book immediately?
Yes, I could do a poll maybe of all the chapters. What's your favorite, and then that could be the next full book with more detail, more information, more pointing in the right direction. So like with this, I just try to when I pick a topic and I talked about it for, as a chapter, just to point you in the right direction and wake you up, or not wake you up, but open your eyes to certain things. So like the food pyramid. I learned about the food pyramid like a few years ago, and it pissed me off. This is the thing about me when it comes to stuff like this. I'm not an activist. I'm not an extremist. But if I was, I would have strong, deep-rooted issues with medical industry and big pharma because of the things, the truths that have recently surfaced in the mainstream, and for things that people have known for years and decades now. You know what I'm saying? Like, case in point, food pyramid. I think they came out in the 70s and they put out the food pyramid and they tell you what to eat, sparingly,
Bread,
what to eat a lot of.
sugar,
And they blew America up literally with the heavy carbs, eating all these carbs, rice, bread, pasta, and telling you eat 5 to 6 servings of that a day.
The
you know
narrative.
what I'm saying? Yeah, and then and it's crazy, and then we got that as Americans. We're like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to eat. Okay, cereal, wheat, bread, and then we started eating bread and pasta and rice every day for 3 meals. Like that was the main course. Like sandwiches for lunch. You get a Blimpie or you go to Subway, bread, breakfast in the morning, biscuits.
Yeah.
Toast.
So do you think that, in their defense, whoever they are, do you think that there was malicious intent with that, or do you think that at that time they believed that it was good for you?
100% malicious intent, without a doubt.
Okay. Like as we discover things, we discover that what we thought was healthy or thought was okay, with more research and scientific research and guinea pig trials, that, like, oh, hold on, it's not good. We thought it was good, or we thought it wasn't bad. But now it is.
I have a theory on stuff like that.
Okay.
I feel like when something is put out, where it comes from the top, there's an authority. There's an esteemed authority. It comes from the top as gospel.
Yeah. Like,
so food pyramid, for instance, tell them to eat bread 3 times a day for the rest of their lives. Tell them it's healthy.
Yeah.
That came from the top. Whoever this person or these groups of people are, they knew exactly what it does to the body. They do the research. They know the science. They do their little blind studies or whatever. At the very tippy top, they know exactly what it does to the human body. But they're in charge of the institutions. They're in charge of the academia and all these things. They put the information out. It's propagated. Everybody follows it. Now, within the scientific community, there are people that do their own studies and they discover these things that hurt people. And they try to speak out, but they're oppressed and shunned and ridiculed. So I'm pretty sure throughout the past few decades, there were people speaking out about the food pyramid, people that did the research, their own studies, and they try to come forward and say, hey, this isn't working. Americans are getting sick with this. But those are the people that are just like, with the VAX, there was doctors and scientists speaking out against that. You get shunned, you get ridiculed, the system attacks you.
Right.
So, and then for what you're saying, when we learned that it was hurting people, it's not that we learned. There were people that knew they weren't allowed to speak on it. But when it finally comes out and mainstream starts supports it now, then it's like, oh, but this does this. It's not that it just came out. People knew. There's people that do real studies and know they are not allowed to speak out on it.
Well,
so, and that's just a fortunate world we live in.
All that, they're scratching the surface in the book as well. Like, just.
Yeah. I hate
passionate.
Hearing medical stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. I'll put it out. I'm not a fucking doctor.
Nope.
But I know what we've been taught all our lives. And you can look at the sickness and disease. And when people switch it up and they do the opposite of what we've been told, and you see them get better and you see them lose weight and you see their health change for the better. And then you're thinking like, why the fuck are they telling us to do these things that is killing and hurting us?
Why?
The answer is
Good question.
The answer is in the pudding.
The answer is in the pudding. What is it? What does it say? What's the
It
answer
says
say?
the answer is they know it was fucking you up. They told you to fuck yourself up
For
population reduction, for big pharma money to give you pills and drugs and chemicals and to turn you into a fucking cash cow. So many reasons.
Sad.
So many reasons. But
So
I don't
sad.
know shit. I don't know nothing. This is all conspiracy.
What?
This book is full of conspiracy.
It's your favorite topic.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can I talk about nicotine? Can I talk about the conspiracy around nicotine?
Oh, let's go.
I don't know shit. Tobacco. I feel like it's gonna be safe. Nicotine. They call they tell you in the propaganda, nicotine's bad for your health. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Nicotine is natural in nature. It's in
tomatoes.
Yes, tomatoes and vegetables. Is in cucumbers, I think. Nicotine is not a chemical. It is in nature. Nicotine helps the body fight infection and viruses.
Mm-hmm.
Nicotine is in tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
The Indians or the Native Americans and cultures throughout ancient history smoke weed and tobacco and other things. The big fight against tobacco, right? Remember, big tobacco stops smoking, cigarettes, and all these things. That was because nicotine was strengthening immune systems of smokers. My theory is that to turn people off to smoking, you had to give them the scare of a lung cancer and all that things. But it's not like it was just scares. They actually did put stuff in the cigarettes to hurt you and give you lung cancer.
Make it toxic, yeah.
Tar and they put chemicals in with the tobacco and all the things. So that, then there was like this big thing about big tobacco. Oh, we got to stop smoking. Okay, that's fine. And then, we turn off the smoking. But then the nicotine intake, like people were chain smokers in the 50s, 60s, 70s. They had nicotine, high doses of nicotine, and also nicotine supports testosterone too. So like if you're a man and you're putting nicotine in your body's able to support or create testosterone, which is another thing. There was an attack on testosterone, which we don't have to get. We can get into it. We can. So like when they kill it, they push and telling people to leave smoking alone. They don't want your body to fight infection, and they're trying to suppress testosterone. That's a whole nother topic for another day. So
how can you have nicotine without it being harmful to you?
I mean, you can get it in vegetables, or you could probably, I don't know, get tobacco the way the natives smoked it. Maybe there's ways the natives chewed it too. Know what I'm saying? They chewed tobacco, they smoked it. Maybe there can be an organic cigarette where it's just tobacco and natural ingredients.
Is it called like all American or something American?
No idea.
I had a friend that used to smoke that, and it looked. Hold on. All natural.
I'm sure you don't need the tar and the chemicals and the carcinogens and all that. But if you notice in the propaganda, when they talk bad about smoking, they focus sorely on nicotine. They make nicotine the culprit and the villain, but they don't say nothing about the tar and they don't say nothing about the other stuff. But nicotine is the addictive chemical.
Oh, here it is. I was close.
Oh, they got natural cigarettes.
It's called, is it American Spirit?
What's it got in there? What's in the ingredients? You better pay us. Pay us for this promo.
Yeah, no, this is back in the day. I knew someone who smoked these.
Is it supposedly like just 100% tobacco?
It's just supposed to be like organic cigarettes.
Yeah, probably.
But it says could be especially dangerous while natural.
Of course, the propaganda is going.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about burning something and
putting in your
smoking,
lungs.
like putting smoke in your lungs. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound right. You know what I'm saying? But there's chewing.
Like we're not supposed to. I don't think we're supposed to breathe in smoke. Really, don't. Yeah. Like if your house is on fire, are you gonna be like smoking it? Like,
that's different.
It's a different type. It's a different type of smoke.
That's wood and carpet and stone.
What's in cigarettes?
I know. They put the chemicals in there, but if you just have tobacco, like we breathe smoke today when you're doing the sage. We're breathing that in. It's a plant. I don't know if there's chemicals in that, but the nature gives us solutions. So like the other thing is during COVID, they were saying that people that smoke nicotine were able to fight COVID better for some reason. The nicotine was able to fight the virus.
Interesting.
That's why.
Wait, how was it applied? How they know that?
Just smoke. I don't know. People
People smoking
people
cigarettes?
came forward. Doctors were like, if you smoke nicotine in cigarettes, you're good with COVID. It's almost like a preventative thing.
I wonder how that was. Probably some like chemistry type of thing, like on a molecular level.
Yeah.
How it combats it.
Nicotine has virus fighting properties, but they want to tell you it's an addictive chemical. So if you, I mean, and I'm sure people are going to come in the comments. I've gotten into debates with people about it. And again, this is all conspiracy, right? I'm not a doctor.
We don't know
I can't
for sure.
diagnose anything. I'm not telling you to go out there and start smoking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to go start chewing tobacco. Just do your own research. We're not liable for anything you do. It's just alternative
You're
information.
an adult.
You are. Hopefully you are. And if you're a child, turn this off. But
Too late.
we don't condone doing anything because we are not doctors. But if I write a book about it, I'll get the research and I'll put in the
Make
links,
sure, yeah,
the references
you know what
that you
you're
can do
talking
your own research on it. But
yeah, and that
fucking
has a list of
other books,
references and stuff like that relate to this book as well.
Mm-hmm. I got me talking about nicotine and being farmer.
You wanted to.
Did I?
I said, Olay, do it.
Yeah. No, I can go ham on this stuff.
I know you can. That's your jam.
But I'm not an extremist. Okay? You won't catch me doing tree hugging shit or throwing paint on Picasso's, or getting in front of fucking blocking roads. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's not.
That doesn't solve anything. You don't get your message across. You just piss people off and turn them off more. So
No, you just have your opinion.
That's it. You're just online talking shit.
Yeah.
What's a conspiracy theory that you believe? It could be good or bad. There's good and bad ones.
I don't know. I would have to see a list of them and pick one. I don't spend my time thinking about that stuff at all.
You got no conspiracies at all? Not one.
Well, no, I just need my memory jogged, or just need the topic. Ask me. What conspiracy theory? You would probably know, because you know me, so you can maybe think of some that you think that I would believe
Do you
in.
believe the earth is flat?
I don't think the earth is flat.
You think it's a trapezoid?
That's what's okay. So I'm not into conspiracy theories. So that just signaled me saying I don't care. I don't have conspiracy theories, because honestly, like I don't hold anything near and dear to me when it comes to ideas of how we got here, or where we're going, or what happens after we die, or whether the earth is flat or round, or whether the Loch Ness monster exists, or like who lives in mountains, or like is space underwater. I think they're all cool concepts, and I think they're all cool whether they're true or not. I could care less what is really, it's like, oh, they lied to us.
You don't care about the truth.
I don't. The truth is, whatever the truth is, the truth is. Like I don't hold anything. Like let's say like, they show Africa a certain size and it's supposed to be like way bigger than they show it on, and then someone drew it out to be that way, and what we learned in school, like people are like pissed about stuff like that. I don't really care.
Is there anything that would anger you to learn about the world that would be that if you learned something that you believed your whole life is a lie, that would anger you?
I don't think so. I don't think that anything would anger me. I think I'll just be like interesting, or I'll have trouble believing that too.
Well, like let's say the seed oils are high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
Like putting that in the food and the poison, and I don't know if you believe it or not. You probably believe that it's bad for you, but like them putting that in food and then making it readily available in everything. Like when we try to get off of seed oils, and now we're looking at ingredients, and you find out it's in everything.
Yeah.
Chips. Process. It doesn't anger you that when you're trying to get away from it, it's so hard. That's what I'm saying. I get livid sometimes.
Yeah, I know you do.
But it's
You're
like
very passionate.
you're trying to get away from it, and it's like you can't. And everything that you buy,
well, you
is like,
can, not eating processed food.
I know. Then you're. I know, but
Like if you really,
okay,
if you care that much about it, just let it go. Eat fruit and vegetables, grow your own garden. Like,
but even
do your
though
thing.
even the fruits and vegetables, like you got organic and then you got the regular. The regular has GMOs
And then you don't even know if the
pesticides.
organic is really organic. It could just be a label. We don't know. So like because we're getting into the culture of you don't know what's real or what's not, what's true or what's false. I kind of like everything gets canceled out now, and I just do what I want. And just be happy for as long as I can be happy.
Well, you got angry about Adonis,
About what?
the pit bull thing, like how he's perceived in the world. 'Cause
Oh
he's a pit
yeah,
bull.
yeah. Because he's mine.
So like,
He's my dog, and
he's
and
a
I
pit
think
bull.
that
And
I got
people-
upset because I think it's racist. You know,
So there you go, I got
it's
you.
like saying no
I found
colors
something.
are allowed.
I found something.
That's not conspiracy though. That's
It-
that's I don't like injustice. I don't like
You don't think
I don't
poison
like
in the
mean
food,
people.
putting poison in the food and poison everybody's injustice?
I don't know that's what would happen.
Okay.
Like I don't know, but if you come and you don't say my dog, like it's just that's more personal to me. I don't know. That's
Your dog is vicious
and I
because he's
feel
a
like
pit bull.
yeah, and I feel like it's I don't know, it's wrong. Like no, like I said, no colors allowed, like type of thing. That's how I feel, and he didn't do anything wrong. I know that people are out there and they're using certain dogs to be vicious, to be that way, and I think that people as well as animals are how you raise them. Because he's not.
So would you go on like pit bulls are nice crusade and try to educate people?
No.
It's too much.
No, I don't care. I don't care what other people are thinking.
But you do, because if somebody we're walking Adonis and somebody walks past and acts all scared or says, "Get that vicious dog away from me."
But I'm not going to want to protest on all pit bulls. I'm just going to be mad at that person.
Okay.
I'm not going to be
I
like,
was trying to find something.
Because then again, like, then I'll be doing the same thing that they're doing by thinking all people feel that way.
No, you're going on an education tour
I don't need to.
to try to change the world's perception of pit bulls.
I mean, I'm kind of close actually to that as far as like apartments are concerned. At least give my dog an interview. Get to be like
Instead
okay.
of like, yeah, just chop
Yeah,
style.
like don't like if you see the dog and he got like the chain and he got his ears are like his ears and tail is still intact. You
But
know
that don't mean he's vicious.
Yeah.
That just means they prepped him for fighting.
Yeah.
That's what that means. But
Yeah, and I didn't even the thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into my excuse of why I have a pit bull in the first place, but he's not. They should have an interview with. I think that at least.
there should be a test, a vicious test. Maybe.
Yeah, because I had a cat that was vicious, and the apartment complex asked. It had it in the paperwork.
Cats?
Is it vicious? Like your animal? Was your animal
Oh.
vicious? And I put no, knowing darn well that my cat was vicious.
But he ain't gonna
But it
leave
was
the
a cat.
house. Yeah, he's not gonna leave the house.
Yeah, they're not gonna leave the house. So like,
His world is those four walls.
yeah, I am upset about that, but I'm not upset enough to, like you're not upset enough to go and protest.
Yeah, no.
And like,
there's nothing that moves me enough to go protest with a group of people. And I know there's a lot of people out there that value protests and voicing your opinion on things. What you think there is?
no, I'm sure. Like, I think when it hits home a little closer, then I think that
Yeah.
would be more of a nudge. Like if something happened, like with your family or something personally happened, then it's like, okay, I don't know, that would be the nudge because we're not really outgoing per se like
Yeah.
that. So I think it's more of a personality thing as well. And in order for people like us, our personality types, to do that, like it would have to hit home. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm
But
not saying it's not in us, but
then if you look at it on a spiritual level, protesting puts more energy towards the thing you don't like. And it kind of creates the thing more.
it depends on how you protest.
Well,
You don't have to be aggressive and violent.
Protest has meaning in the word.
But aren't there different like tiers of protesting? I forgot. Pacifists, right? Those are like peaceful.
That's what we do.
Peaceful protesting. And there's activists, which are people that are like,
get in front of the road and block traffic.
Take this statue down.
I know protesting. I don't think protesting changes anything.
I think what it doesn't necessarily. I don't think it. I don't know if it has enough power to actually make. I mean, it has. It does.
I think
over time it does, but I think that it brings awareness mainly, and I think that awareness can change.
I think meditating and prayer and setting positive affirmation, I think that can do more than a group of angry people meeting in a square to yell and hold signs.
But that gets the message out, and then the workers can go to work. Like with me, like I don't know anything about anything because I'm like under a rock really, and I don't listen to anything outside of what I'm interested in. But if you hear something happen, you could be like, you heard it only because people are protesting about it. And then you can take that and be like, okay, people are, doing this. And then you can go into your meditative state and try to shift consciousness. But it's because of the activists and because of that is bringing an awareness.
Yes, but a lot of those protests are emotionally driven, and they're negatively emotionally driven.
Yeah, but how do you hear about it? So I'm not saying that works, but I'm saying that brings awareness. And then you can do what you want with that. You can be angry or you can do it peacefully after you hear about it. But it's the whistleblower, if you will.
The system loves to emotionally manipulate people that are willing to protest in that manner.
Yeah, sure.
It's
that part.
Emotional manipulation.
There are many parts to making change in the world.
You want to protest, babe? We can go protest. Let's go find something to protest.
I don't know what part of this conversation said that I wanted to protest.
Because I'm saying how I feel about protest. You're like protesting is, you're like advocating for protesting.
If anyone is like listening on my level, they'll understand what I'm saying.
I understand you, but I still don't. It's, if you want to talk about law of attraction manifestation, when you give so much energy to something you don't like, you're just making more of that thing.
Agreed.
And you add
totally
in
agree.
Hundreds or thousands of or tens of millions of people into a protest, you're not defeating that energy, you're creating it.
Agreed, but what I'm saying is that I agree with everything that you're saying, but sometimes it takes that to kickstart the idea that something is wrong. Because if no one says anything and everyone's in their house and there's issues going on in the world and no one is protesting or no one is being loud about it, no one will hear about it. To create colonies of people to do their spiritual work, to pray in the church, to do your meditations, for the monks to go sing in the Himalayan mountains or whatever the case is, everyone plays their part, and and that's all I'm saying. If it wasn't for those people.
So you're saying we need protests for awareness.
We need everything, yeah.
We need protests for awareness.
For awareness, someone has to be like, hey, this is happening. It's like Paul Revere. You gotta shout it out like, hey, something is going on. And some people are angry about it, and some people go, and everyone goes and does their part about it.
So the reason I'm taking a stance is I feel strongly about poisons in the health industry and the food and all that.
But why?
I would never support a protest of it. I would rather, my version of awareness is like this book.
Yeah.
Or like making videos or talking about it. But I would never, in a million years, meet with a group of angry people and was holding signs to me in front of a big pharma.
That's not your style.
And it's not even about style. I'm telling you, that is not going to work. In my soul, I don't feel like that does anything.
Right.
And you're saying people need that for awareness. I'm saying my version of awareness is just talking about it and showing people the difference.
But how'd you hear about it?
Not through a protest, through study and research. I didn't learn about big pharma stuff by people protesting about anything.
But are people protesting about it?
I don't know. Maybe they are. I would never join them because I'm not going to bring angry energy with a bunch of other angry people.
But do you believe that there are people who are not angry about it that are protesting?
I don't know.
That are doing what you're doing?
I have no idea. I'm just
Silent
talking about myself.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what the things that I believe. I would never meet with a group of people to stand outside and protest.
That's
with them.
true. And
what I'm saying is there's other ways to combat those things.
that is true.
But to do it in low vibration. And I feel like the system likes that. The system wants angry people to come out in droves
Extra emotional.
because they know it doesn't defeat anything. If you come outside and you're angry and you're yelling at people, that's not solving anything. There's a cleaner, more positive or more efficient way to solve those problems, and going outside holding a sign and yelling at people is the least powerful. That's how I feel. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Cool.
So you will never see me outside protesting for anything.
Or me.
I will. There's protests that I agree with spiritually and energetically, but I'm not going to stand there out there with you yelling at anybody.
Where did we didn't stand out there, but we did stand out there. What happened in downtown Norfolk?
It was the statue in front of the library, I think, or something.
Yeah, we didn't protest, but we went.
No, we just stood outside and looked. There was people speaking and all those things. But
awareness.
Everybody was aware of that, though. Like, everybody knows about racism and all that stuff. That's what I'm saying. If someone's gonna come in the comments for me and be like, "Oh, you don't have a I'm saying this right. I'm looking at the camera. I will never be outside protesting for anything, no matter how evil or whatever injustices. The injustices are there. We understand that, but there's ways to combat it more efficiently, spiritually. It's not even about social, like spiritually, that can actually make a difference than anger and vitriol and vitriol.
Hey, Google, what's vitriol?
Here's the definition of vitriol: bitter criticism or malice.
Sweet.
I got a crazy vocabulary.
I love it. Sexy.
And that's me. So if you want to come for me and say I'm not doing it or whatever, I guess I'm looking at it from a monk standpoint. Like a monk, you won't catch monks protesting. Monks are just going to be in their temple, praying, hymning, meditating, and that's how they change the world. And that does work 1,000 times more powerfully than going in the streets and fucking rioting or being pissed off.
Balance.
These affirmative emotions are more powerful than negative emotions.
How'd they hear about it?
Protests are
protests. By protests.
You don't need to hear about evil in the world through protests.
But how do you hear about evil in the world?
News.
If you don't see it,
you could hear about evil in the world through the news and through experiences and things like that. Protests. I feel like if you want to protest, you can protest.
No, what I'm saying is that everything. I think every person is playing a part of bringing awareness to something. And if being angry and fighting isn't working to help, it doesn't help the problem, but it does bring awareness to people who can help the problem.
I think that brings awareness, that brings negative energy to other people who would bring negative energy to it. It's like a virus. I'm angry. Sure. I'm yelling. This would only attract someone else who likes to yell and be angry.
But does it make you want to be angry and yell? Because it doesn't make me want to be angry and yell.
No, it makes other people that want to be angry and yell. It attracts them. And it's like bringing negative energy and then accumulating it in a single spot and saying, we're angry about this. Now you got all these people angry and in low vibration yelling about something, and it doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
it doesn't change anything. It propagates more of the shit that you're fucking pissed about. And the Matrix knows this. And the Matrix loves fucking protests. I'm telling you, they love the fucking protests. The system loves when a group of people goes outside to cause chaos and disruption and to be angry and yell, because it feeds off of that shit.
It's a shame.
That's my belief, though. About
That is a shame.
Yes, come picket. Come scream,
picket.
come yell. Please give us the loosh.
Come throw.
Give us the fucking loosh. You
firebomb.
crazy motherfuckers. We need this loosh. Give us the loosh. I feel like some people gonna think I'm weird and come from me like, he doesn't believe in protesting. We're gonna protest
not
the
even
non-protesting.
because of that.
Because what?
Just in general, everyone, like, people probably think I'm weird too. Like, everyone is weird. That's how I'm so
normal.
universal.
We're not normal.
Like, I know that, like, I know how, like, when we're talking on different vibrations, but talking about the same thing. And it seems like we're talking about the same thing, but there's no levels. We're just talking on a different frequency of consciousness. And so that's what makes us feel that we're arguing with each other sometimes, but we're really not. We're just in two different worlds talking about the same thing. So my belief systems are different. The way I talk are different. The way I see the world is different, and you too. And that's a beautiful thing. And I guess that could be weird. You know, people can see me weird, people see you weird. And then when we're watching other people and listen to them talk, they weird. So it's like everyone's a little bit of weird. And then you just gravitate to people that are your type of weird.
Yeah. I think we're all different types of weird.
So many different
We got a
types of
tribe out there somewhere. We're kind of loners.
weird. I already know mine.
Who's your tribe?
People that feel and see the world like I do. And then yours are the same type. Well, no, yours are more extreme because you're skating on your topic. The stuff that you're interested in are the battlegrounds for people who are crazy. But you're being like Batman about it. You're in Gotham City, but you cool and you want in a tower in the mansion where everyone's on the streets acting crazy, but you still in Gotham. So that's your world that you're in. If that makes sense.
I'm not sure.
I'm
trying to understand.
You're in the mix. You're in crazy town, but you're not loud. You're not loud about it.
On the outskirts.
You're on the outskirts. You have the same belief systems, but you're not down there with the pitchforks.
I'm on the outskirts of crazy town.
Yeah. The conspiracy theorists. All those people are loud. They're protesters. They're the government is lying to us. Like they're strong people.
But
I'm saying you don't have the same drive as most of the people that do believe in all of that stuff. Those people they're angry.
Yes, and that energy only sickens them, and it's negative energy to hoard.
And then seeing the world like a bad place.
The injustices in the world and the things that's wrong, like we all see them, we all know it's there, and being aware of it is important, and knowing about it, but inundating yourself and like people that like hate what's going on, right? Whatever your opinion is about any event, pick any event, and then you pick a side, and then you feel so strongly about it that this group over there, these people over here who disagree with you, you have so much hate and anger towards them for not believing what you believe. That's unnecessary. It's just an unnecessary way to be on this earth, where someone over there who just thinks differently than you have so much disdain and anger and hatred for. You never met them. You just know maybe one thing about them. They don't agree with you on this topic.
Yeah.
Now I gotta hate that person. And they probably hate you the same way.
It's freaking. It's crazy.
It's psycho.
You
want to talk about
the belief systems are ridiculous, like the whole like flat Earth, round Earth thing, like, or religion, sports, even anything where, I mean, it's almost been not, it hasn't been created to separate people. Some things have been created to separate people, but just if you believe something that someone else doesn't, it's just so weird. It's almost like you can't even have normal conversations with people because of belief systems.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
I could never. I used to be. I could never. I'm grown out of that.
Like you can tell, like as soon as someone asks you, like, "Oh, what do you think about abortion?" or "Oh, what do you think the Earth is round or flat?" Do you know?
Yeah,
you believe in the law of attraction?
You gotta be above. You gotta be.
Do you believe in Jesus? Like
above that, and you have to respect all forms of belief and opinion. Everybody's here learning. Everybody's here going through experiences and things. But the minute you have a feeling of hatred towards someone else because of a belief,
you're doing it wrong.
You are way off balance. You're on earth doing it wrong, just like you said. You're earthing wrong.
Adonis. Hey.
I think we covered a lot.
What are you doing? You can't go in Daddy's room.
On that note, I think it was a great episode 13. We started off shaky.
Talked about what's shaky.
Well, the sinners.
Because it got weird. Speaking of weird, we call this weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
But we got through it.
Yes, we switched it up. We talked about sinners. We talked about food pyramid. We talked about my book. We talked about your thing. And we talked about why I hate protest. I will never protest. Put that down.
I protested when I was younger.
That's why you find me on this? Okay, what'd you protest? What'd you protest about?
I don't remember because
you have to remember.
It had something to do with jail because we went to the courthouse.
Did you believe it?
You know my memory is horrible.
People, were you influenced to go, or did you really believe?
I was young. I was a part of this amazing group of people. I don't know if it still exists, but it's the Friends of the Elderly. And I was volunteering when I was in middle school because I lived in Ocean View when it was ghetto. I'm not sure if it's still ghetto, but when it was ghetto, I lived in Ocean View, and there was this place in the plaza called Friends of the Elderly, and I went there and I made a couple coins just to like seal envelopes and stuff. And then they were supporting someone maybe that went to jail or something, and they thought unjustly or something. And then we made picket signs and we marched outside of the courthouse to like maybe free somebody or something like that.
Did they get free?
I don't remember, but I was there and I felt proud. I felt like I was, doing something. I mean, no one was yelling or throwing bottles or anything like that.
Okay.
But it was protesting.
Okay.
Saying like, we're out here. This is how we feel. Listen to us. We think that this is wrong. It's like a way of getting the attention. It's for awareness.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I guess there's levels that's fine. If nobody was yelling, they weren't holding hateful signs, and they wasn't trying to fight and riot. I think that's what I was mainly talking about.
Just to bring awareness. Protesting.
I guess it's silent protest or happy protest. Like
personality is what makes it crazy.
If people are standing there and they're not disrupting traffic, they're not doing anything crazy, I guess that's fine. I'll put it this way. If the people are not angry, then to me, I feel like it's not a protest. I feel like there's another word for it. Gathering, congregation.
No. I mean, you can call it what you want. Maybe those groups will call it that to not scare people.
Protest implies some type of anger.
Hey Google, what does protest mean?
Here's the definition of protest: a statement or action expressing disapproval of or objection to something.
It doesn't have to be loud. I mean, it just depends on your style. If you want to be angry, if you want to go out with some mass.
Y'all went out there and gathered.
No church in the wild style. That's a protest, but that's like, I think there is a word for that actually.
Y'all gathered. You went outside and gathered with your collective, and you had companionship and fellowship. You fellowshipped. That's what you did.
So.
You went outside and fellowshipped with your fellow elderly people. You did not protest. That was not a protest.
There's a gray area.
No protesting.
I protested before, and it wasn't angry protesting.
Okay, you fellowshipped. You fellowship with the elderly.
It's not a fellowship.
I think that's noble and virtuous.
Thanks.
You didn't protest.
Protest, like Google said, what it is. It's, you're standing up for something. You're bringing awareness to something. You're standing up for something. You're gathering into a group of people, and you are presenting yourself in front of the powers that be to come and listen to us, people. Hear me out. We're serious. We're coming in a group. We're coming in droves. Listen to us. We're serious. It's protesting.
That's a wrap. Episode 13. We'll be here next week. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, all the things. Before we roll out, get the book. Thank you. And then realskinlab.com.
Take care of your skin, please. I can help you.
Boom. We out here.
Bye.